A very good evening to all. I request the esteemed guests for the day to kindly come up on the dais. I request our chief guest, Dr. Frank Dunshai, to kindly come up on the dais. Dr. Naomi Castro Navarro, the President of the International Boat Association Spain, the guest of honor. And our beloved Dean, Dr. V. Sayan. I also request our organizing secretary, Dr. H.K. Mukhopadhyay, to take a seat. Once again, a very good evening to one and all. I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to the valedictory function of the 3-day International Conference of Indian Society for Sheep and Boat Production and Utilization, organized by Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Veterinary Education and Research. This is an immensely exciting evening for us. The actively growing participation of the delegates and the participants from around the world affirms the relevance and the meaningfulness of this celebration. I hope you enjoyed your 3-day at this campus. Let me first acknowledge the presence of some of our eminent guests. It is indeed a pleasure to have among us the chief guest for the valedictory function, Dr. Frank Dunshai, Professor, University of Melbourne, Australia. Guest of honor, Dr. Naomi Castro Navarro, President of the International Boat Association, Spain. Before we begin, I request everyone to kindly stand for the Tamil Tharvarthu. I now request the organizing secretary, Dr. H.K. Mukhopadhyay, Professor and Head of Veterinary Microbiology, River, to deliver the welcome address and the report for the 3-day international conference.
A warm good afternoon to everyone present here. The respected dignitaries on and off the dais, the luminaries and the doyen of veterinary profession seated among the audience, faculty, HODs of River, scientists and other faculty members from all other veterinary institutions and institutes of and universities of India and abroad, our respected guests from abroad, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I am really feel very proud and privileged to welcome you all for the valedictory function of the 3-day International Conference of Indian Society for Sheep and Goat Production and Utilization, with the theme on recent trends and future perspective to improve the performance, health and welfare of small ruminants under changing climate scenario at River, which was held between 24th and to 26th April 2024. I think these 3 days of these interactions and deliberations which we witnessed would have definitely opened up some new ideas, new visitors in this particular area of climate resilient small ruminant production and utilization. And I think definitely the delegates who have come here share their expertise and knowledge. Will go from here with enlightenment and with better expertise and a better knowledge how to deal with climate changes and utilize the effective knowledge for betterment of the production and utilization of small ruminants in the changing, challenging climate scenario. At the outset, I'd like to warmly welcome our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Frank Danshia, Professor, University of Melbourne, Australia, who has come all the way from Australia, very actively participated in the scientific deliberations, acted as chairman for several sessions, and at this age, I really you should appreciate the energy which he has shown in this. I want a big round of applause for Dr. I warmly welcome you, sir, for this function. I also welcome Dr. Noemi Castro Navarro, University Las Palmas de Granada, Spain, and also President International Boat Association, for again coming all the way from Spain and actively participating with all the delegates and sharing expertise and knowledge with us. Very much thankful to you, madam, and I welcome you for this function. I also welcome other respected guests from the abroad, Dr. Christie, Dr. Anastasio, and of course I think other guests, I mean they have left already for Australia, and other dignitaries including our President ISGAPO, Dr. Gopal Das, several other dignitaries who have come from all the way from north of India and different parts, in fact nooks and corners of India. I also welcome all of you in this function. I warm welcome to our beloved Dean, Dr. V. Sejian, who is the convener, and in fact he is the brain behind bringing this particular function here, and maybe very effective in meticulously planning each and every detail and see that it has been executed. I warmly welcome you, sir. My hearty welcome to all the lead speakers, eminent scientists, faculty, all the contributory papers, the people, students, and the faculty who have contributed with the deliberations of both the oral as well as poster presentations. Now, it's customary that we give a brief report of. I welcome one and all before I start my brief report on this conference. As I told you, in this conference, I'll give a brief report because I think in the later part of this function, each rapporteur for each session will give a detailed report of each session which has been talked about. In this function, actually in this particular conference, we had around 203 registered participants, and we had around 219 abstracts in the form of contributory abstracts. So both the things you see, this crossed to 200, and we have almost 36 lead papers which have been delivered. We have seen over the last 3 days by eminent speakers who are in this very knowledgeable in this particular field from India as well as from abroad. We had 58 faculty oral presentations. We had 26 student oral presentation and almost 76 poster presentations. And we had 11 technical sessions, one interactive farmer scientist industrialist interactive meet, and also one young scientist session which has been handled by the ISGAPO. So this is a very brief report. I don't want to go into detail of this, which as I told you will be told by the individual rapporteurs who are for each sessions. So with that, I warmly welcome everybody present in this. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll be honoring the guest. First and foremost, I request our Dean, Dr. V. Serian, to kindly felicitate and honor our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Frank Danshia. request Dean Sir to kindly felicitate and honor Dr. Naomi Castro Navora. A very warm welcome to our Director of Animal Husbandry, Puducherry, Dr. Lata Mangeshwarji. I now request the Organizing Secretary, Dr. H.K. Mukhopadhyay, Professor and Head Veterinary Microbiology River, to felicitate and honor our Dean, Dr. V. Sayan. We would now like to felicitate and honor the Organizing Secretary of ISSGPU Con 2024 for successfully conducting and organizing this conference. And for this, I request Dr. Gopal Das, the Secretary of ISSGPU, to kindly do the honors. The memento is sponsored by the ISSGPU. Thank you, sir.
Just I thought that I humbly accept the honor bestowed upon me by ISGAPU. But this award, I really believe that it belongs to Team River. The Team River, which was ably guided by our beloved Dean, who from the very beginning, this preparation for this conference started 3 months ago. Each and every detail, minute detail, he has planned and he has seen that this everything is been executed. And this execution has been done by all the committee members. I thank all the members, chairman, co-chairman and members of all the committees who have executed, very meticulously planned and did their job very meticulously. That's why you are seeing that this function has become a success. So this honor which is given to me is actually the honor which is given to Team River. So I want a very warm round of applause for the Team River. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request our respected Dean, Dr. V. Sayan, to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you, Dr. Ragi. Very good afternoon to one and all present over here. Most respected, my mentor, Professor Frank Danshe, Professor from University of Melbourne, the chief guest of today's function, and Professor Naomi Castro, the International Goat Association President, the guest of honor for today's valedictory function, and my dear Mukhopadhyay sir, the Organizing Secretary of ISSGPU Con 2024, all the respected dignitaries, the foreign experts, and importantly, our Director Animal Husbandry and Animal Welfare, Madam Lata Mangeshkar, and the Joint Director of Animal Husbandry Department and Animal Welfare, Dr. Kumaran sir, and all the faculty members of River, and all the scientific colleagues from ICR, both CSWRI as well as CARG, and the Secretary ISSGPU Con, Principal Scientist Gopal Das sir, and all the students present over here who have come from various parts of India, and most importantly, there are some other sector people who have attended, especially the farmers and some other industrialist personalities and also another one of our parent also attended from Goa, one of our students' parents. So, and above all my young scientific colleagues and the assistant professors of River who have done a toil job to bring this event to a grand success. And most importantly, the student volunteers and everyone present over here, the non-teaching staff and others. And another important person, especially I would like to mention Professor Tanislas, the scientific committee chairman, who have done a fabulous job to get this event to near to perfection in terms of making it timing, which is very rare to come by from an Indian perspective of conducting organization. We wanted to set a tone, ball rolling as far as what is going to be future for organizing seminars, because this is what the foreign experts would ask us to be, that they maintain that timing. That is something which we have been very effectively execute through the committee, completely led by Professor Tanislas and then his team, Dr. Vivek and Dr. George, Dr. Nikhil and Dr. Shilpa and Dr. Ragi and Dr. Pungurili. So these are all the some of the people who have been rallying behind him for all the 3 days, because they definitely deserve a big round of applause, I feel. Very good afternoon to one and all present over here. It's an honor for me, and and also we have forgot to mention Professor Avinash Lakavar, the joint organizing secretary for this event, who along with the organizing secretary have done a great job in pulling this conference to this extent, and more meticulously, a lot of sleepless nights all three of us had. This the organizing secretary and the joint organizing secretary, and Professor Mukavade sir is dedicating this to the team Riva. That is why, because it's been a great team effort, and I congratulate each and every chairman who have headed various sessions, especially the transport committee, the accommodation committee, the food committee. So delicious foods have been served for last three days. And also the scientific committee, and then the lead paper, lead book compendium committee, and the abstract compendium, and the souvenir committee, the sponsorship committee, and each and every chairman have been a pillar of strength for this team, and that is the reason I believe that even I can place a request, because yesterday we could have done it in the GB meeting itself. It should have been given to team River, because that is what our organizing secretary is echoing. So that is very important, that because this is not an individual effort, it is a combination of all the chairmen and co-chairmen and the members of various committees who deserve this recognition from the ISS GPU. So this is an important. Well, you can see the last 3 days deliberations have been extraordinary. So much excellent deliberations we have listened from through the lead speakers, and also there are a lot of young bunch of students who made their oral presentation very nice and crispy way, and all the chairmen of various technical sessions have been very spot on in terms of maintaining the timing, as well as the quality questions that has emerged, and also the discussions that has emerged, and even the poster sessions were in which we were very unique, because we don't want to put it in hard copy where not many people will even notice the poster. I think most of the outside participants have really appreciated our poster sessions, because it is also like an oral presentation. That is what differently we wanted to do with the smart boards available with us. So that made another difference to this conference in terms of like, well, there are a lot of science that has disseminated through a last 3 days, and there are the rapporteurs of each session will precisely come and give their recommendations, which will be making, combining it into a policy recommendation, and that will be going to Dr. Raghavendra Bhatta, the Honorable Deputy Director General Animal Sciences, who is the apex body which controls the animal science in the country. So maybe for implementation, those recommendations would be very useful for them. Well, this is all. This is what we add on offer for all of you as far as this ISS GPU Con 2024 is concerned. And there are various sections and deliberations and international speakers and national speakers, and there are young bunch of students, and then lot of undergraduate students. That is another landmark of this conference, because many undergraduate students are presented, which is very rare for a country like India. And this is what a new beginning, what River wanted to set an example for that even that undergraduate students are capable of, apart from their regular curriculum, they are doing research, which has been widely appreciated in the India now, because it's been a positive vibe getting percolated to other universities now, because we should make the next generation ready for going for higher studies and other things. For that, the CVs matters a lot, and for that it is important. And then there are a lot of people who have participated, and very few will be getting any event and recognition in terms of best presentation awards. But then it is the participation that matters here, because winning or losing doesn't matter. It is a science disseminating platform. So I'm sure like all of you thoroughly enjoyed, and congratulations to all the prize winners. And then for who have not got the prize, this is a learning, and then you will be definitely using this as in a different platform, this experience, where you will be emerging as a winner. So this is what you should take a lesson from this experience, especially the UG students. Well, as far as the climate resilience is concerned, what last three days of deliberation, I can concretely say that you need to have an immediate goal, and then you need to have a long-term goal. Well, immediate goal is always going to be managemental strategies in terms of shelter management, and also the nutritional intervention. Most importantly, the advanced feeding technologies, which has been, even in the farmer session also, there were a lot of queries related to the nutritional intervention. So this is all the short term, and that should be area or agroecological zone specific. But then the long-term goal has to be invariably the genetic approach, where you apply all the latest omics technologies, such as transcriptomics, metagenomics, and bisulfite sequencing technologies, genome-wide association studies, and selection signatures, etc., etc. Because today, what is 10 years back, we cannot imagine now it is available in our doorstep in terms of sequencing data, and that gives a very vast and a lot of hidden intricacies of adaptation potential of the animal can be explored through these technologies. So that need to be implemented to identify very important heritable quantifiable biomarkers that could be used for breeding strategies using marker-assisted selection. Probably it's time to redefine our breeding policy also in terms of amalgamation of traits combining production, adaptation, and low methane emission, because we cannot on one hand trying to adapt an animal, but on the other hand we also should try to reduce the greenhouse gas being emitted from this animal. So that is also very, very important in the sense so I would prefer we are revisiting our existing breeding policy in the country, and then we should go for traits comprising of production, adaptation, as well as low methane emission traits. So that could be the future so that the animal which is getting produced with this type of refined breeding policy may try to adapt and produce optimally and emit low methane emission per unit of feed consumed. That is the need of our, because with the reduction in fodder production and other vast changes in the existing climate, and which is going to be further worse in the coming years. So these are the type of approach which can give a permanent solution to the problem. So this is what it is, short-term goal and then the long-term goal. Obviously, you need not have to worry about our indigenous breeds, because they are already very good. Only that bottom-top approach, that is improving the production potential of the indigenous breed, is the need of our. So there are a lot of nutritionists sitting over here. It's time to define a policy for how to manage with the existing resources to feed the largest livestock population in the world, India holding. So it is important that such type of strategies need to be worked out so that we can get the best out of this indigenous breed. Well, you need to understand that the indigenous breeds, although there is an advantage, but they have a limitation in terms of they can be specific to an agroecological zone. So one zone animal cannot be applicable to another zone. So we need a bit of scientific deliberation on this also to identify which is the best breed specific to a particular agroecological zone. In that way, there are a lot of research have started off late, and then we need to really disseminate because the ultimate target group of the stakeholder, the poor and marginal farmers, needs what is that breed which they can minimum invest and get the maximum output. Okay, this is what the strategy should be. So as a scientific fraternity, it's our responsibility to project to the farmers what are those breeds that could be disseminated to the poor and marginal farmer, which will in turn ensure their livelihood security. So this is what the challenge before us, and although we blindly say that indigenous animals are extremely adapted, whether they are climate resilient, because resilience means they should adapt and produce optimally. So this is very important. We need to understand not only they should be adapting, they should be also be producing optimally. This is the challenge for us. So for that we need quantifiable data. So we need lot more basic studies so that we identify, screen all the indigenous breed and then disseminate. We do believe that the small ruminants is going to play an immense role as far as future is concerned. So for that, one of the important production aspect which should never be overlooked is the reproduction. I'm sure like a lot of deliberations on the reproduction section clearly indicates like we need to really go for artificial insemination for the goat and sheep, as well as the estrus synchronization protocol, so that will help the farmers to maintain the regular cyclicity so that they can get 2 crops per year at least. So this should be the motto for the farmers. So the reproductive management forms a very good significance. Well, if you see like indigenous animals, heat stress is not at all a worry. It is what matters is that the feed availability, the water resource availability, as well as tackling the sudden disease outbreak, especially the emerging and new emerging diseases. In particular, if you see the vector-borne diseases are very, very crucial. So in that way, we need to form a disease surveillance measure linking with the geographical information system. Okay, so then only we will be able to identify the link between the climate change and the sudden disease outbreak in the livestock, and then you develop a suitable surveillance measure to tackle the problem. And then the strategy should be spot on. What are the treatment protocols specific for a specific disease? This should be the approach. If you take care of these 3 pathways, that is nutrition, water, and the disease, and automatically the animal production efficiency goes up. And then indigenous breed, they are very well known for adapting in any specific location. So heat stress is not at all a worry for our animal. Well, as far as the livestock products are concerned, so we need more strategies to be implemented for sheep and goat meat, especially because we are first in goat production in the country and the world, and also the sheep we are second best. So we are having the resources with us, but then the import quantity need to be really worked out, and then for that we need to improve the value addition. So this is also the need of our, and most importantly the socio-economic aspects also should be looked into, because the farmer needs to double the income. So for that we need to really give them what is the appropriate strategies, managemental strategies, nutritional intervention, and then what are those particular breeds that could be used these strategies to get the best out of them. So that is also the need of ours, so that the farmer get the economic benefit. That is the motto ultimately. And above all, of all this intervention, one should never overlook that the animal welfare of these sheep and goats should never be overlooked. So it is a need of the hour, like we need to have a non-invasive methodologies established as far as quantifying the stress response of these animals are concerned. So there are a lot of things to be catching up. I think this is the platform where we have deliberated over 3 days all these informations, and ultimately there should be a policy emerging, and also POP, the package of practice should be developed based on the recommendation that is emerging, because that should be going for the ultimate target for the farmers, because we are all here to look for the need of the farmer. At the end of the day, if the farmers are satisfied, rest is ensured for because as I told, livestock contributes immensely for the country's GDP. So in that way, if we are all working together common platform, that is good. I believe, before I conclude, I would say that the success of this conference relies on the multidisciplinary approach, projects emerging, and also the multi-institutional collaboration that is happening in the near future. So this is a type of networking where there are a lot of people, experts as well as the students have come in contact with each other. Please do build a good network, so that we need to take forward this type of collaboration, so that we can go for a multidisciplinary approach, because whatever I told, LPM, reproduction, nutrition, physiology, and LPT, LPM. So all the subjects are covering under the one roof of climate change. You cannot separate climate change as only a physiology or a genetics or a nutrition like that. This is what multidisciplinary, this is the most important. And the FAO projects like the climate change as the most important negatively influencing factor for the livestock. In that way, this type of collaboration will really is the need of the hour, and that can really fetch a solution to the growing human population feeding by 2050 or above all. So this is what this conference should give us, a take-home message, like good networking among all of us, and then a good multidisciplinary different type of projects that is emerging, so that we find a solution for a particular sector of the people. So with these few words, I once again thank each and every one of you present over here for making this trip in time, in terms of although there is elections, still you people have made it. Shows that your quest for knowledge, and we believe that we have delivered as a team to each and every one of you, and then I am sure you are all going to go back with great memories, and thanks for all your cooperation. I take a responsibility if there is a slightest of the negative that has happened during the conference, and I take the complete responsibility. But all the happy things that has happened for the last 3 days, the credit goes to our team River. So with these few words, I once again thank and place my sincere thanks to all of you for coming from various parts of the world, as well as from within the country, from different states, for your august presence in this conference. And we believe that as a team we delivered to you, and we satisfied your 3 days of conference you have attended here. And congratulations once again to all the prize winners who are going to be felicitated in a short while from now, and good luck for rest all the students. And it is a journey that need to be continued, and the journey has just begun for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We have with us Dr. Noemi Castro Navarro. She's Associate Professor for the Department of Animal Science at Las Palmas de Gran Canaria University, Canary Islands, that's ULPGC, Spain. Presently, she coordinates Masters of Animal Health and Food Safety at ULPGC. She's an author, co-author in over 100 peer-reviewed articles, in over 40 articles in non-referred publications, 5 book chapters, several manuals, and over 180 abstracts in meetings and conferences. She was the leader of a farm located at the veterinary faculty for 3 years. She's associate editor of the Journal of Applied and Animal Research and a frequent reviewer in different journals, such as Journal of Dairy Science or Small Ruminant Research. She was secretary of the scientific committee of the 11 International Conference on Goats and member of the Small Ruminants Committee of the ADSA, being chair in 2021 annual meeting. Her research topics include colostrum quality, newborn management of goat kids, immunity and milking, among others. She is currently serving as the president for the International Goat Association. I request Dr. Noemi to address the gathering.
Good afternoon. Don't hate me, but I'm going to try to say the local language. Matiya Wanakam to everybody. Well, I wanted to start telling that I'm delighted, but I'm delighted and also exciting to stay in this closing ceremony. Thank you for the invitation. I'm going to take a few minutes just to say many things. I apologize if I'm redundant in that knowledge, but I think that it's necessary to say thanks to all the amazing team that have organized this conference. I'm really glad that I have listened just now the leader of the conference, Dr. Sijan, to speak and to talk about the team, because in science we are nobody if we don't have a team with us. I know how much work is behind of a conference. We can summarize in 3 days, but I don't need to guess. I know that a lot of work is behind of this conference for months ago. Finally, you realize that you are in the conference and the conference is over after 3 days, but for sure you are going to remember these 3 days for a long time in your life. It's a really great experience for the organizers and also for the attendees. Please don't forget all the knowledge that we have the opportunity to learn during these 3 days because it is an opening door for the rest of our research, science, and also development. During these 3 days, we have the opportunity to attend 11 technical sessions, including lead presentations, oral communications, and also posters presentations. Very interesting discussions, questions, and wonderful people that we have met during the lunch times and also during the coffee and tea breaks. Really, it has been a big pleasure, a great pleasure listening and learn about goats and sheep through the different topics from welfare, productivity, health, performance, all of them under the umbrella of the climate change. It has been really, really, really interesting. All the studies have been focusing in the improvement of the quality of life, and this is the most important. To think about the livelihood, to think about the farmers, to think about the families that need to receive incomes from our sheep and our goats, and from our science, of course. It is amazing to know how much small ruminants genetic diversity has this country. For me, it has been a really big surprise. I knew that you had a lot of different breeds, but not so much that I have listened during this day. Please preserve, keep, study, and improve it, because this is a really, really important value, the genetic diversity. In addition, I would like to congratulate, of course, the hosting institute, River, because really the hospitality has been amazing, and I think that I'm speaking not just from me, it's something that all the leaders, my colleagues from Australia and also from Spain, we have been talking about that during our dinners. Really the hospitality has been amazing. Thanks so much. Special mention to Dr. Siyam. He has led wonderfully the conference. His words before than me summarize perfectly. He has led a team without disturbing the team, and it made the successful of the conference. Thanks so much for the invitation, for your leading the conference, and for the success of the conference. Congratulations. Of course, I cannot forget the whole staff. I don't know each one because you are a lot, but if we are here today congratulating everybody, it's because the staff has been working wonderfully too. Just few words for Dr. Silpa. I have spent with her in this room the last 3 days, and she was always supporting the speakers, supporting us, helping us, supporting the chairs of the session, but always with her smile. Thanks so much, because it is really, really... In summary, all of you should be proud because this has been a really great conference. Be proud about that. And now, just it's time to drop the adrenaline and to release serotonin for a few days, because next Monday, the real life starts again. And we need to go to our labs to prepare the next abstract, to prepare the next conference, the next paper, and so on. But take some time for release serotonin. It will be very, very helpful. Let me say also a special thanks to all of you, the delegates, for attending the conference, for the discussions, for the interesting discussions, for the participation during the questions time, for the time spent during the lunches and during the tea breaks. Of course, I cannot forget, and I will not forget forever, the participation of the students with their presentations. I have really feel very exciting to realize how much young scientists is coming in this country. Really, very, very well done, dear students, very well done. And I kindly request and encourage all of you to continue working from science to development, always looking for improving the quality of life of the people, the equality, and the sustainability. This is our future. This is our real future. Finally, again, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity of sharing with you the last 3 days of the conference. And of course, thanks to the sheep and goats, because without them, we are nobody. I'm not going to say, just finishing my talk, my speech, goodbye. I'm going to say, see you soon, somewhere, and all the best. Mika and Henry.
Thank you, Dr. Naomi, for your kind words. We will now move on to the report from the rapporteurs. I request the rapporteurs of the various technical sessions to kindly come forward and give a report on the key solutions and consensus outcome from the technical session. Firstly, I call upon for the technical session 1, that is newer perspectives in sheep and goat welfare, wherein we had Dr. C. Devraj, scientist of ICR, NIA and B as the rapporteur. Since he is not here today, I request Dr. Jayalakshmi to kindly give the report.
This is a session report by rapporteur, session number 1 on the theme Newer Perspectives in Sheep and Goat Welfare. In this, there are 2 lead talks followed by 7 oral presentations, and the recommendations emerged from the session whereof development and implementation of standardization on welfare assessment tools with the help of AI and train the farmers and animal care personnel to recognize signs of stress and poor welfare in sheep and goats. Popularize a climatic zone-specific shelter designs for different flock sizes and production systems with proper hygiene and welfare measures. And thirdly, establish community shelters for migratory flocks. And now for the technical session 2, on climate resilient small animal production, we are having the rapporteur, Dr. Ragi Radhakrishnan. Now I call upon her for the report.
Thank you, Dr. Jayalakshmi. So the session report for technical session 2, this climate resilient small ruminant production. We had 3 lead talks, 7 oral presentations and 3 poster presentations. The recommendations emerged were to develop a heat stress assessment index suitable for Indian conditions, a need for a collaborative international research grants for the developing countries, encouraging studies assessing the animal's response to the extreme agroclimatic conditions. And further studies could be done on skin-based evaluation, which is already started, first of its kind by Dr. Shilpa. Further studies could be done in larger flocks. Thank you. For the next technical session, 3 recent trends in reproductive management. I call upon Dr. George Dominic, Assistant Professor, River, Puducherry.
Thank you, Dr. Ragi. This is a session report for the technical session 3 on recent trends in reproductive management. So we had 3 lead talks by Dr. Dilip Swain, Dr. Punyamutsa, and Dr. Anil Kumar. And we had 4 faculty oral presentations and 6 student oral presentations, followed by 6 poster presentations by the students. The recommendations emerged from the section is a large-scale marker-assisted interrogation program is needed for all the non-prolific breeds of India. The research should focus on developing ovulation synchronization protocols for fixed time inseminations for the small ruminants. And lastly, the studies, whatever we are focusing, should be carried out to improve the post-op semen quality in cryopreserved small ruminant semen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. George. For technical session 4, this contemporary diagnostic techniques in ruminants, I call rapporteur Dr. D. Selvi, Assistant Professor, River, Puducherry.
Thank you, Dr. Ragi.
And this is the rapporteur's report for session 4, which is contemporary diagnostic techniques in small ruminants. And it had 2 lead talks, one on epidemiology of brucellosis in small ruminants, unraveling the disease dynamics, exploring the pathogenesis, strategizing the effective control measures by Dr. K. Gururaj, and the other one by Dr. Manjunatha Reddy on epidemiology of sheep and goat pox disease in India. And we had a total of 14 oral presentation with 10 from the faculty and 4 from students. And we had recommendations which I have emerged from this session as a need for awareness or training program among the farmers regarding the zoonotic diseases like brucellosis as well as from other diseases, and a need for a policy for compensation to the landless farmers for the diseases of zoonotic importance, and also an emerging need for state-wise effective preventive health measures for small ruminants, and to identify or delineate the causes of abortion, which is going to lead a severe loss for the poor landless farmers. Finally, a need for a detailed epidemiological region-wise studies on GI parasites should be formulated for the effective management program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. For technical session 5, innovations in sustainable sheep and goat production, we had rapporteur Dr. Rituparna Banerjee, scientist of ICR and MRI, Hyderabad. But since she is not here today, I request the co-chairman, Dr. Nainu Jacob, to kindly give the report.
Thank you, Dr. Lagi. Respected Chair and dear people on the dais and scientists, all the scientists in the hall. The session report of session number 5, Innovations in Sustainable Sheep and Goat Production, which was chaired by Dr. Gopal Das. I, Dr. Nainan Jacob, was the co-chairman, and the rapporteur was Dr. Rituparna Banerjee. There were 3 lead papers presented by Dr. Naomi Castro, Dr. D. Giacomo, and Dr. Manoj Kumar. The oral presentations, faculty 1, there were 6 student oral presentations, and there were 7 e-posters given by the students. The recommendations which emerged from the session: goat colostrum derived exosomes which contain lipid, proteins, DNA, miRNA helps in the fetal development process and promote maturation of immune system of infants. The second one, supplementation with vitamin E, selenium, pre and probiotics, flavonoids, terpenoids can be explored as alternatives to antibiotics to increase antioxidant effect and improve intestinal health in goat kids. And the final recommendation, redesigning of breeding policy, multiplier flock, an integrated genetic improvement model and a climate resilient approach must be adopted to promote commercial goat farming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. For technical session 6, advances in small ruminant therapeutics and ethno-veterinary practices, we have rapporteur Dr. Ajit Singh Mahla, the scientist ICER, CSWRI.
Thank you, Dr. Adi. Good afternoon, one and all. Yeah, this is the report of session 6, advances in small ruminant therapeutics and ethno-veterinary practices. And this session, one lead talk was there by Dr. Pradeep Nambiar from WHO, and a very interesting talk on One Health approach for enhanced small ruminant well-being and public health. And in this session, total 5 oral presentations were there, while 11 e-posters were presented also. And the recommendations emerged from this session are incorporating the One Health approach is crucial for tackling public health challenges linked to small ruminants. Hence, a collaborative strategy should be embraced involving veterinary, medical and environmental experts. Issues related to food safety and antibiotic resistance can be mitigated, and the monitoring, diagnosis and management of zoonotic disease can be improved. And greater emphasis should be placed on research into herbal therapeutics and ethno-veterinary practices for treating various livestock diseases that can help reduce the antibiotic resistance and improve the production performance of the livestock. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. For technical session 7, omics approaches for redefining breeding strategies in small ruminants, where Rapporteur Dr. Arun Verma, Senior Scientist, ICAR, CIRG.
Thank you, ma'am. This session had 2 lead talks, 5 faculty oral presentation and 7 poster presentations. Recommendations are: focus should be directed towards nucleus flux, genomics based on data, and breed-specific selection index for addressing feed, climate and health challenges. Second, efforts should be made on genetic diversity analysis based on microsatellite, mitochondrial and candidate genes and transcriptome as well as SNP chips. Also, a multidisciplinary approach should be followed to assess the breeding value. Third, genetic tools, omic approaches and reference gene identification should be explored to address disease-resistant genetic gain and overall production. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Verma. Technical session 8, novel approaches in small ruminants feeding and nutrition. I call upon Dr. Nikhil Kumar Tej, Assistant Professor, CTR cum CIF, River, who was the rapporteur.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. So I was the rapporteur for session 8. It's on novel approaches in small ruminant feeding and nutrition. So we had 3 lead speakers in this session, and we had 8 faculty oral presentations, and we also had 7 student posters. So the recommendations for this session are, so as a path breaking, so we have some faculty working on introduction of recombinant DNA technology for animal resilience and production. So where he's working on lignin digestion, so which inhibits, so it's a very big problem in this recent scenario where the lignin digestion is not proper in the ruminants, so it inhibits carbohydrate fermentation. So as a path breaking, so in future he's working on recombinant DNA technology, where in future we may see this lignin degradation becomes easy. And then some scientists went to work on utilization of poor quality tannin leaves for improve the by inoculation of tannin degrading microbes. So this is also one and then people went to work on mineral mixture supplementation and also concentrate modules to reduce methane emission from the small ruminants. So these are some of the recommendations from the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nikhil. Technical session 10, prospects for value addition in small ruminant products. The rapporteur Dr. S. Dangi, Senior Scientist, ICAR, CSWRI.
Thank you, Dr. Rai. In this session 10, 4 lead papers were presented and 12 oral presentations were made by the faculty and 5 posters were presented by the students. The recommendation emerged from this session is that in the India, the carpet wool production, we are in the first. So for this, the animal fiber should be export for the value-added products to fetch the more money for the farmers. And second one is that it is considered that a small ruminant sheep and goat milk have the pharmaceutical values. So it should be validated through the different trials, maybe human or on the other animals also. And third one is that it is for the designer meat. So for this, the meat quality attributes for the storage and nutritional point of view should be explored via nutritional genetic manipulation and processing to fetch the more money for the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dangi. Next, technical session 11, role of small ruminants in socio-economic upliftment and policies and marketing strategies for small ruminant sector. I call upon Dr. A. Abhirami, Professor, River, Puducherry.
Good evening, one and all. So I have been the rapporteur for this session, number 11. And the session theme is role of small ruminants in socio-economic upliftment and policies and marketing strategies for small ruminant sector. So we had 4 lead speakers, and the presentations, oral presentations were 10, and 7 were faculty and 3 from students' side. And the recommendations emerged from this session are livestock-based agro-eco-tourism innovations for sustainable small ruminant production by following a combined travel agricultural operations or rural setting with products of agricultural products. Then the next one is the role of transfer of technology programs for the upliftment of farmers, that was recommended by making the farmers as the end users, especially the end users for the partners in research. And the third recommendation was a roadmap was set up for regional marketing strategies, which includes marketing linkages, R&D, policy support, and climate resilient goat farming. And the fourth recommendation was regarding stall feeding of sheep and goat. The whole farm nutritional model was recommended. And the fifth recommendation is direct marketing of the products from the producers to the consumers without much intervention by the middleman was emphasized. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Technical session 12, the session on farmers, industrialists, scientists, interactive session. I request Rapporteur Dr. M. Rajalakshmi, Assistant Professor, River Puducherry, to give the report.
Good afternoon to all. This is the session report by the rapporteur, session number 11, Farmers, Scientists, Industrialists Interaction. The number of panelists were 5. The chairman was Dr. Lata Mangeshkar ma'am. She is the director from Animal Husbandry Department. Then the 5 panelists were the professors from our college, Professor Nachimuthu, Professor Uma Maheswari ma'am, Professor Vijayalakshmi ma'am, Professor Kumar, then Dr. Kumaran sir from Animal Husbandry Department. We had Dr. Gururaj from CIRG. So there were around 14 farmers. There were different points which they raised. What are the problems they are facing in regular basis, and the different recommendations which were given to them. So during the rainy season as well as in the summer season, the management is difficult for them because they face mortality in both the seasons. So from the panelists, they have given them vaccination and deworming, they are regularly to be done. Even though the Animal Husbandry Department, even they are providing the service in timely or not, they should take the initiative and they should do the vaccination and deworming in time. Then the samples can be brought to the liver medicine department, so they can do the analysis and then they can give them the recommendations also. Then the next problem which they are told is kid mortality. So what was the recommendation given to them was they can give mineral mixture to the pregnant animals so that the kids which are born, they can be little more healthier. Then whenever the animal is dead, they are not bringing the animal to college or nearby place for post-mortem. So that recommendation we have given them. So anyone animal is dead, please bring it for post-mortem. Let us see the animal. Then we'll give you the recommendation so that you can protect the other animals. Then tick infestation. What they are telling us in goats, always there are ticks. Whatever medicine we give, initially the ticks loads comes down, then again it comes back. So the recommendation given to them was please take care of the environment also. So whenever the ticks are outside from the goat, then again it hides somewhere in the nearby environmental areas. When the medicine's power comes down, again it comes back to the goat. So they are supposed to take care of the environment whenever they treat the goat also. So these were the recommendations given to them. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we move on, we would like to present a copy of the compendiums to the treasurer of ISSGPU. I request Dr. Arvind Soni to kindly come on the dais. We'll be presenting a copy of the abstract compendium, the lead paper compendium, and a souvenir. Thank you, sir. I'm sure the conference has enlightened many and provided a platform for discussions and solutions by the various experts. We would like to know how well the efforts of the Institute and ISSGPU has resonated to you. So I request the delegates to give a feedback and share your experience.
3 days of professional and academic exercise with such great intensity and brainstorming session on recent trends and future perspective to improve the performance, health and welfare of small businesses and the changing climate scenario was refreshing and illuminating experience for me. I personally feel the success of any conference depends upon the resourcefulness of the resource person. All the presenters, with their insight into the subjects, has done a wonderful job with the topics and subtopics given to them. I'm sure any thinking mind will have gathered a lot of food for thought after listening to them, isn't it? For any institute to prosper and flourish, one need a man with carry, see the opportunity and do something new, productivity with unfailing infectious energy. River now have a leader in the person of Sajan, a man who has been the driving force behind this conference. So many awards and applauds this institute has received within a short period since he has taken over as the dean of this institute speaks volume of his work, his tenacity and finesse. To sum up, I can only say in one sentence, he came, he saw, he conquered. After having known Sejan for the past 1 year, I knew that the conference being coordinated by him will be a class by itself. The organization had been immaculate. Planning had been meticulous, with every minute details being taken care of. In fact, henceforth, River will be known for its organization and hospitality skills. And I take this opportunity to put on record my sincere appreciation and gratitude to the captain of the ship, Dean Sejan, and his team of River for organizing such an extravaganza event with such a collaborative effort. We show that the team River has a wonderful working relationship, and this caravan has to move relentlessly. I would also like to thank the supporting technical expert, non-teaching staff for the organization and the hospitality, both of which has been excellent. Each day, for a breakfast, lunch or dinner, a new menu was served to us. The unique trip to Hotel Lee Pwani is memorable. Interaction between the farmers, industrialists and scientists was a treat to watch. I was there, I could not understand the language, but with the expression of the farmers and what they were talking, I could guess that they had an issue. These interactions tells us that now River cannot work in isolation. It requires partnership, collaborations and memorandum of understanding to achieve more milestones. I wish one student, one parent could have been in the panel because they also are the primary stakeholders of River. My compliment to the two comparators here for their captivating prowess, and they were like live wire. One of the hallmark of any conference success is the firework it generates among the participants. It was heartening to see such intellectual firework among the participants during the 3 days. I think not a single presenter was spared. They were bombarded with some questions, 2 or 3 questions. If there were no questions, the panel of the chairman, the co-chairman, and rapporteur were asking them. It is good. You have to defend your matter. Thank you, colleagues. You have made this conference a great success and given it a meaning. Well done, Riva. Keep it up. This conference should be an eye-opener to the other institutes to organize such conference in the near future. As I return back home and as I go to bed tonight, that will be a big smile on my face. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any more feedbacks from the delegates or participants? Okay, then we'll move on. We shall commence with the prize distribution ceremony. I hand over the session to Dr. Jayalakshmi.
A very good evening, everyone. We will start the prize distribution for technical session 1. Newer perspectives in sheep and goat welfare, oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Bhagat M. And the topic is seasonal assessment of mastitis using thermal image analysis in goat. And second prize goes to Dr. Navina BM for the topic comparative analysis of traditional halal meat production and commercial slaughter techniques, implication for welfare and meat quality in sheep. And moving on to oral presentation student category, first prize goes to Prabhakar and the topic is the comparative assessment of the body condition score, fecal soiling, fleece quality and lameness both in intensive and extensive rearing system and the welfare of canary sheep. And second prize goes to Pavitra P on the topic effect of non-genetic factors on birth weight of Malabari goats under farm conditions in the home tract of Kerala. For the poster presentation student category, first prize goes to Sundara Chelvan S for the topic quality from start to finish, a meta-analysis on welfare and meat quality in sheep and goat. And second prize goes to Hariharan M and the topic comparative assessment of health parameters in goats reared under extensive and semi-intensive system in Puducherry region. And third prize goes to Rihanna Evelyn Da Cruz and the topic is comparative valvular anatomy of tricuspid valve in sheep and goat. Moving on to technical session 2, climate resilience, small ruminant production, oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. C. Devaraj. And the topic is amelioration of a heat stress in Bannu sheep, unveiling the therapeutic potential of herbal supplementation. And the second prize goes to Dr. Rakesh Kaushik. And the topic is differential gene expression pattern and genotyping of HSF1 gene in caprine during heat stress period. Rodrigues on the topic is comparative expression of inox 2 in response to heat stress in native goat breeds of Kerala. And second prize goes to J. Ravikant for the topic effect of microclimate modification and vitamin E supplementation of physiological responses and cortisol of Nellore brown sheep during summer season. For poster presentation student category, first prize goes to Rebase for the topic Effect of Heat Stress on the Expression Pattern of Different Hepatic Immunological Genes in Indigenous Baluchi. And second prize goes to Lokesh P for the topic A Comparative Assessment of Physiological Adaptability among Exotic Boer Goat and Indigenous Brony Goat in a hot, humid tropical region. Now for technical session 3, recent trends in reproductive management, oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Nikhil Kumar Tej. The topic is how to stimulate WMD to stimulate estradiol synthesis in ovarian granulosa cells of caprine. And second prize goes to Dr. Mala AS for utilization of GnRH in progesterone-based estrus synchronization decreases artificial insemination frequency in sheep. Now for oral presentation student category, first prize goes to Dr. G. Shalini for the topic sonographic assessment of implant and umbilical neurovalency in different stages of gestation in Malabarine and Atapadi black holes. And second prize goes to Anupama K for the topic Effects of a buoyancy hemoglobin supplementation in cryopreservation medium on post-mortality parameters and subsequent embryo in sheep. And third prize goes to K. Devadarshini on the topic Reproductive Performance of Malabar goats in farmer flora of Kerala. For poster presentation students, first prize goes to Pycro for the topic Surgical Management of False Ectopic Pregnancy in a Doe. And now we are having two second prizes shared by Manali Patel S on the topic Comparison of Motion and Kinematic Parameters of Periphery and Paramount Protein for Buxanet using CASA. And again, second prize goes to Venkateshwara AP, Petri rank in board following AI in natural and synchronized estrus. Moving on to technical session 4, contemporary diagnostic techniques in small ruminants, oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Nagalingam, and the topic is assessment of prevalence and risk factors of brucellosis in sheep in Karnataka, India, a cross-sectional study.
Second prize, we have Dr. Pubita S. The work is on pathology and molecular characterization of Jacksonville sheep vector virus in slaughter sheep. For third prize, we have two doctors. One is Dr. V. Jayalakshmi, molecular characterization and phylogenetic analysis of two-length B-square genes of water dinosaurs from birth in Puducherry, India. Again, we have one more third prize, Dr. Vigneshwari M. She did work on transcorneal intraocular ultraphotographic evaluation of eye in 20 days.
Now for oral presentation students, first prize goes to Athira CP for the topic Detection of Ivermectin and Levamisole Resistance in gastrointestinal nematodes of the bones of tissue, Kerala using in vivo and in vitro test. Second prize goes to Donna Mary A. on the topic Study on Ecology and Hydrobiological Alterations in Aluminium Growth and Food State. For poster presentation students, first prize goes to Agnishwaran R. and the topic Keynote and Genetic Protection of Humans and AMR of Lepsil and Pneumonia isolates from boats and from environment in and around Puducherry. Second prize goes to Vishnu Pashini and the topic is Pathological Characterization of Sun lesions and Molecular Detection of Mycoplasma lesions and assorted goats. And the third prize has been shared by two people. Firstly, Dr. P.H. Anusha for the topic Molecular Detection in Antibiotic Resistant Gene Profiling of Enterococcus species isolated from goats in the region. And again, third prize goes to Vignatesh Reddy on the topic Extended Spectrum Beta Lactamase Producing Salmonella Lactobacillus, Phytomeria and Enteritis from apparently healthy goats. Moving to the technical session 5 on Innovation in Sustainable Sheep and Goat Production, oral presentation for faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Ramesh Kumar Singh on application of Varimax and Promax rotated principle component analysis and biologic traits of the goats in Sichuan district of Bihar, India. Next, for oral presentation student, first prize goes to Harish for the topic Genetic and Environment Analysis of Milk Production of Metabolic Growth Rate of Cattle. Second prize goes to Anupama K for a comparative study of cryopreservation of semen of huge sheep breed for subsequent embryo production in vitro. And the third prize goes to Patel Deepak Kumar Ajit Pai for the design and development of novel goat feeders suitable for expression of natural feeding behavior. Next, for poster presentation students, first prize goes to Kupi Reddy Divya on the topic Study on Independent Remote Milling Farming Practice and Supervision for Farmers. Second prize goes to Ramishaki Nagasai Shotya on topic Study on Morphology of Pattern in Goat Nutrition. And the third prize goes to Dr. G. Janvi on the topic of growth performance of a native growth plants in a conventional and irrigated housing system during summer. And for the technical session 6, advances in small ruminant therapeutics and ethno-veterinary practices, oral presentation. First prize goes to Dr. S. Chandrasekhar on the topic epitope manipulation and strategy in designing liver vaccine against PPR and sheep and goats. And second prize goes to Dr. Tina Roshini on the topic incidence and surgical management of the congenital anomalies in 83 newborn kids. I now request Dr. Naomi ma'am to hand over the certificates and memento to our students and faculty participants. Now for the third prize, Dr. Bakat M, assessment of a moringa-based herbal post-treat drip solution by our board return. And for poster presentation students, first prize goes to Chinti on the topic ultrasound viral injection of autologous platelet with plasma for long-term fracture healing in goats. Second prize goes to Sudha Nagachitali for the topic Unlocking the Mysteries of Acute Pneumonia, Exploring Causes, Symptoms and Treatment for Respiratory Infection. And the third prize, there are two. First, Saurabh Prashad for the topic Successful Management of Subcutaneous Emphysema in not committed due to doctor and pneumothorax. And again came Madhuri Priya for third prize on ethnopathetic medicine practices among small community farmers in Puducherry and Karaikal region. And for the technical session 7, omits approaches for redefining breeding strategies in small ruminants for oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Sonika Halawat for the topic Identification and Validation of the state reference genes for quantitative PCR and abdominal formation under high altitude hypoxic and arid condition. And second prize goes to Dr. C.P. Swarnakar for the performance of Marlborough sheep selected and breed for the resistance or resilience to hemocontratus. And third prize goes to Dr. Rahim Abdul for assessment of a population structure and genetic diversity of intercrossed sheep through pedigree analysis. And for poster presentation students, I call upon the first prize winner, Akila MR, for the topic Discovery and Computational Exploration of a novel SNPs in a POUIF1 gene and their influence on protein structure and function in Malabari goats in Kerala. And second prize goes to Prashantini R for the topic Deciphering Distinct Adaptation and Production Signature through Whole Genome Sequencing in Indian goat breeds of a tropical and temperate ecosystem. And third prize goes to Chandrakshi Chirti Reddy for topic Exploring LHX4 gene variants and their association with growth and morphometric characteristic in Odisha goat breeds. And for the technical session 8, novel approaches in small ruminant feeding and nutrition, oral presentation for faculty, I call upon for the first prize Dr. Iqbal Haider, and the topic is comparing the efficiency of the various food stacks and detection of recombinant kidneys. And the second prize has been shared by Dr. Rita E for the topic Isolation Characterization and Identification of Microbes by Selective Culturing and Sequencing in Sheep Rumen Liquor. And again, second prize shared by Dr. Sarkar Shobna for the topic Assessment of Hydrolytic Potential of a tannin degrading bacteria isolated from rumen of a Malpura sheep for screening of a promising microbial feed additive. And the third prize is also shared by two people. Firstly, Dr. Verma AK on the topic Impact of Supplementing Minerals and Vitamins on Carcass and Meat Qualities and Gene Expression. And again for third prize, I call upon Dr. Manjari P for the analysis of the influence of PD selective mineral mixture on blood mineral composition in Jodiki lands. And for poster presentation student, now I call upon the first prize winner, Balamurugan N for nutritional intervention in Sita Uttara and the identification of kids and their integrated system in Puducherry. And second prize goes to Prabhakar on the topic Effect of Diet in Energy and Protein Level and Blood Biochemistry, Rumen Fermentation Profile and Protozoal Population in Growing Black Bengal Kids. And third prize goes to K. Padmavati on the effect of the supplementation of benzene leaves on nutrient activity of goats. And for the technical session 10, prospects for value addition in small ruminant products for oral presentation faculty. First prize goes to Dr. Banerjee R. And the topic is bioactivity of functional protein hydrolysis from goat byproducts, in vitro and in silico approach. And for second prize, Dr. Kadan B for the topic From Plastic Peril to Wood Wonder, Evolutionizing Green Growth with Sustainable Sampling Bags. And the third prize has been shared by Dr. Navina PM on the topic Influence of drying methods on physicochemical, functional, radiological and microstructural characteristic of gelatin from goat skin. And the third prize again goes to Dr. Arvind Soni for the topic Effects on Growth Performance Carcass Characteristic and Neutrality of the Growing Malpura MC Rose for the topic evaluation of a physico-chemical composition and proteolytic changes during ripening of feta cheese prepared using Barbary goat milk. And second prize goes to Salpriya Kanchpalli for the topic illustration of the differences in metabolite profile and physico-chemical characteristic of Barbary and beetle goat milk. And again, second prize has been shared by one more person, Manasa Reddy, for the topic development of brain and corporate initiative. And moving on to technical session 11, that's of the role of small ruminants in socio-economic upliftment for oral presentation faculty. First prize has been shared by two people. Firstly, Dr. Rajlakshmi M on topic library notes, secondly, of the board teachers, and mapping of the It's not two, it's three first prizes in this category. Again, Dr. Krishnan, the topic of timeline study on nomadic sheep rearing and its role in socio-economic upliftment of the sheep owners in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry region. In this session, all the three scored the maximum marks, that's why they are getting the first prize of equal marks. And Dr. Rajkumar sir for the estimation of economic And for oral presentation students, first prize goes to Gaurish Nair for the topic socio-economic profile of the sheep farmers and second prize goes to Patil Deepak Kumar Ajit Pai for evaluation of economic efficiency of a developed goat feeders under stall-fed management system. And for poster presentation student, first prize has been shared by Dr. Praveen K for slaughter of pregnant goats and sheep for meat in Puducherry, simplification and day out. And Dr. M. Moving is also getting the first prize for occurrence risk factors and socio-economic impact of war in Tagalog village in Puducherry. And second prize goes to Siddhana Manashetty for the topic the status of goat marketing challenges and opportunities in Puducherry region. And third prize goes to Sangeeta D for strategic insights into goat marketing and study on the marketing constraints of the rural household goat farmers of the Puducherry district of UB of Puducherry. And now we are having a conservation prize for the UG students. For encouraging UG research, we called for the abstracts from UG students as well. In that, we got around a maximum of 9 abstracts from UGs. For that, I call upon firstly Gautam Chandran M for the conservation prize. Second, Saurya. Third, Sharan Matthew. Then Aravind and Naresh.
Thank you, Dr. Jayalakshmi. We would also like to thank our sponsors. I request representative of Unigenomic Laboratory Limited. Any representative, please kindly come on stage. I also call representative for Vijay Farms, Villupuram. Expert Visual Labs Private Limited. Bioscience Private Limited, LPT RF Puducherry, Takara Bio, Shri N&R Associates, Promega Biotech India Private Limited, Praveen Chemicals Mathura, and Gene 3E Biolab. Moving on, we have our chief guest, Dr. Frank Garcia, to give a brief introduction about him. He is a Redmond Barry Distinguished Professor and Chair of Agriculture at the University of Melbourne in Australia and the Professor of Animal Growth and Development at the University of Leeds in United Kingdom. He has a BA in Agricultural Science and a PhD from La Trobe University in Australia and postdoctoral training at Cornell University in the USA. He has a research career spanning 35 years in farm animal and biomedical research. His area of expertise is in growth physiology and nutrition and understanding the interactions between the animal and animal's environment. He has worked as a government scientist for 17 years before joining the University of Melbourne in 2006. He has published over 950 journal, conference, books, or technical articles in agricultural, biomedical, and food sciences. His research has had a high scientific impact and is currently in the top 0.3% of scientists for the individual impact in agricultural science. According to Google Scholar, he has over 15,800 citations and an X score of 76 and is 55 since 2019, indicating a high citation rate over a range of publications. We are very glad to have you here, sir. I request you to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and what a celebration of excellent science. My arms are sore, so I can take your hands. It truly is a great privilege and joy to be here. I think it's my 5th trip to India, and it's fantastic to come and see my brother, Satan. We have a strong connection, and personally I have a strong connection with India, but Australia has a strong connection with India too. I think just in the last month or so, India has become, Indian diaspora has become the biggest diaspora in Australia. So about 4% of the population in Australia are actually with Indian or Indian descent. And we share a strong bond, strong cultural association. In fact, I was thinking about this conference just as I was sitting down here, and I thought this could be the IPL of the goat and sheep conferences, because it was just so heavy hitting. So thank you for the privilege, and it's been really good to see such great science. One of my other roles is I'm president of the World Association of Animal Production for the next 5 years. And what I see going forward is some serious challenges for the livestock industries. Right around the globe, we're faced with pressure on our social licence to practice livestock husbandry. There's pressures from a nutritional point of view in Europe and North America in particular, criticising the consumption of meat and livestock products, whereas we know that in fact they're very important for health and nutrition. And in particular, in countries like India, where people become more affluent, but they want to consume high-value animal products. And there's a great opportunity for the sheep and goat industries to satisfy that requirement. But it's not just nutrition. Small ruminants actually offer an excellent opportunity for financial independence, particularly for women. Animals, larger animals, probably more often than smaller ruminants, actually are very important as draft animals. But livestock also provide other resources, such as fibre, wool, and manure for fertiliser or for heating and burning in some cases. I think the sheep and goat industries offer an opportunity to reduce our emissions, so the pressure on the livestock industry, not just from a nutritional point of view, but also from the point of view of the impact that we have on climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. And there's no doubt that the livestock industries contribute substantially to our greenhouse gas problems and result in climate change. So what we need to do, we need to actually reduce our impact. We need to be able to produce food and fibre with less land, less resources, less water, but we also need to adapt to the inevitable climate change that we've faced already and we will continue to face until we're able to reverse some of those effects. Sheep and goats, because of their ability to convert low quality forage and fodder and pasture into high quality meat, milk and fibre, again offer that opportunity to exist in some what might be sort of marginal lands and produce healthy products where we can't grow grains. I think there's lots of good examples in India where people are making use of the circular economy. You know, they're using byproducts of industry. They're using poor quality fodder and forages matched with some good quality products to thrive. So I think these are the challenges, and one of the exciting things about being surrounded by young people who are making a big impact is the fact that old people like me can sort of rest satisfied that there are very smart young people who will be able to clean up the mess that my generation caused. Because I am hopeful and confident that that will be the case. And so I implore you in this room who are either involved in sheep and goat research or maybe sheep and goat producers to tackle these problems front on and make sure that the world that we live in will be a world that we want to live in. So thank you once again for the opportunity to come to India, to come to the river for the first time. I've seen firsthand how Saji can, with his energy, can change things, and I'm sure that that's what's happened here. That's what I'm hearing from people I talk to. So thank you for that opportunity, and I will hopefully see some of you perhaps later on in the year when Australia take on India in some cricket matches. Because we have, I suppose we need to fight back and and establish ourselves as a better cricket team. Although I think so many good cricketers coming up through the ranks, it's going to be very hard in the future to match India there. And probably very hard to match India with the quality of young academics coming through in the goat and sheep area. Again, just on a personal note too, I've been very fortunate to supervise 8 Indian PhD students, and they've all been a great joy. What I want to see more though is not flow of Indian students to Australia. I want to see flow of Australian students and Australian academics to come and work in India, in Indian institutions, and work in Indian industry. So I'm looking forward to when we do more of that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Your presence here is truly invaluable, and thank you for being a part of this event. Moving forward, as we conclude with the valedictory function of this conference, I request Dr. Avinash Lakawar, the co-organizing secretary, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Finally, Avinash has come. Being a biologist, we are the unwelcome people, but definitely we have to end the things. Right? Yes. Let me begin. I say coming together is a beginning. Yes. Keeping together is a progress. Working together is a success. That is what for last 3 days we have been doing. Right? Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, invitees, participants, students, ladies and gentlemen. I, Avinash Rakkawar, co-organizing secretary, is honored to get an opportunity to conclude the 3 days conference on the recent trends and future perspectives to improve the performance and health and welfare of small ruminants under changing climatic scenario organized by River. Please bear with me for some few minutes because though it's a fag end of the day, let me first of all thank my most sincere thanks to the Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express my profound gratitude to Dr. Frank Denshia, Professor, University of Melbourne, Australia, for being the chief guest for the today's valedictory function. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, deep and distinguished scientist, your advice and valued opinion have certainly broadened the horizon of understanding. Thank you for being with us on this auspicious occasion. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey my deep regards, hearty thanks to the guest of honor, Dr. Naomi Castro, President, International Goat Association, Spain. I would like to express my appreciation to you, madam, for coming all along and gracing this function. Thank you both of you for adjusting your busy schedule and traveling so long to reach us and sharing your knowledge and research. I believe the conference has opened a new dimension and our association will go a long way and wish to have new avenues for future collaboration for the betterment of the livestock population and the institution. I request the audience to give a big round of applause to the chief guest and to the guest of honor. On behalf of the organizing committee, I convey my deep regards and hearty thanks to Sri M. Raju, IAS Secretary, Animal Husbandry and Animal Welfare, Government of Puducherry, and the Chairman PVCS. Due to busy schedule, our chairman could not make it to this function, but his support and blessings are always with us. Thank you very much, sir. Next, I would like to place on record our deep sense of obligation to Dr. A.K. Tomar, President ISGAPU and Director CSWRI, and Dr. Manish Kumar Chatley, Vice President ISGAPU and Director CIRG Makhzoom, who bestowed upon us the opportunity to host this conference. River remains thankful to you, sirs, for this gesture, and we at River have not left any stone unturned to make the conference a grand success and meet all the expectations. I thank Dr. Lata Mangeshkar, Director and Joint Director, Dr. Kumaran of the Animal Husbandry Department for supporting for the support extended to River and accepting our invitation to grace this function. I wish to thank our Dean, Dr. Savian, because of whom this mega event was possible. Your leadership, meticulous planning, untiring efforts, guidance, leading from the front has made the River to achieve the greater heights, and we could make the conference of such a gigantic proportion a possible happening. I request all the audiences to give a big round of applause. Next, I thank our organizing secretary for ISGAPU Con 2024, Dr. H.K. Mukhopadhyay, for meticulous planning and being accommodative for all the ideas as well as suggestions from various committees. Working with you, sir, was a great experience. Let me thank all the co-organizing secretaries, Dr. Ramchandran from NINP, Dr. Gururaj from CIRG, and Dr. Ajit from CSWRI, who had tolerated me at least for some time, okay, and helping us to shape the things. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the lead speakers who have traveled from different parts of the world as well as within our country to be with us, okay. We had amazing line of speakers to share the good knowledge, expertise on various topics for the 3 days conference which concluded recently. First of all, I begin with offering my sincere thanks to dedicated team of scientists and subject matter specialists, Professor John Gogan, Dr. Anastasio, Dr. Christie, Dr. Surendra Singh Chauhan for accepting our invitation and traveling so long to come to Puducherry on their own expenses to grace this function. Their august presence as international experts for 3 days mega event was a great experience. I am sure all of you had a great hospitality at River Puducherry. Thank you for coming. I express my profound gratitude and thanks to all the invited speakers, participants, directors of various institutes who traveled from various institutes and veterinary colleges from different parts of the country to make the 3 days mega event a grand success. I thank all of you, sir. We have been fortunate to be backed by the Team River. We all at River are dedicated, committed, and work as a family for the growth and development of the great institution. I submit my sincere thanks to all the chairman, co-chairman, members of various committees whose hard work, selfless devotion is responsible for the smooth conduct of 3 days historic event at River. We are blessed to have a bench of dynamic, talented, hard-working young faculty. Their hard work and dedication have brought the success to this event. So I place on record my sincere thanks to all the teaching staff and unskilled workers of River who had worked hard to make this event a grand success. At the same time, I express my profound gratitude to CDO along with the workers to keep the campus neat and clean during the entire process. I submit my thanks to all the student volunteers who have been working tirelessly behind the scene and keenly involved during the odd hours to make this conference a grand success. I thank the engineering cell led by Mr. E. Segar for making all arrangements and keeping the hall comfortable position and complete the function. I am grateful to the live streaming team comprising of Dr. Srinivas and Dr. Madhivardhani, Mr. Xavier, and students working so hard to make the event to be witnessed by all the alumni spread across the globe. I request the August gathering to give a big round of applause to our Team River for making a special mention goes to our sponsors whose support participation has been crucial in the entire process. I thank the decoration team headed by Mr. Surya for making all the grand look to our event, Ms. Priya Arcadia for this beautiful floral arrangement, and I place on record Mr. Satish of Amamiya Caterers for preparing the delicious food during the entire event. So I request all the audiences to give a big round of applause for that. We are prepared and taken care of all of us. Most importantly, my special thanks to Dr. Radhakrishnan for putting the fantastic efforts for wonderful comparing of both the inaugural as well as valedictory function. I bring my sincere apology to those who directly or indirectly helped us, and I forget unwillingly to take their names. So kindly excuse me. These 3 days have brought together intelligent minds with torrents of information, ideas, and have shared wealth of experience, knowledge. A platform like this encourages collaboration, interconnectivity, and lasting friendship. Lastly, it is the time to say goodbye. In Hindi, I cannot prevent myself saying. Viday ka ye din hai. I will translate in English. Viday ka ye din hai. माहौल थोड़ा गमगीन, लेकिन दुआ है रब से आप यूं ही हंसते रहो, महकते रहो, सबके दिलों में बसते रहो. It's a time to say goodbye, right? Eyes are a bit moist. It's a time to say goodbye. Eyes are a bit moist. But my prayers to the God that all of you must be smiling, happy wherever you are, and be in the heart of everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. means he had done a fabulous job. It's my duty to thank him personally because being the joint organizing secretary, lot of scoldings and thanks given. So like last 3 months been an grueling time for him, and at the end of the day, like such a shock observer is between the organizing secretary and the patron, because we three discussed together everything and then we only slander it at the end of the day. So like everything he observes and then keep the things very lively. I think he deserves a big round of applause.
Now I request everyone to kindly stand for the national anthem. We have arranged high tea on the ground floor. I request everyone to join for the refreshments.